Hi guys. So for anyone who is just coming in, we're going to give it another minute and then we'll get started with Daphne.
Thanks for having me.
So just throw your questions into that Q&A panel. We are on a tight schedule today. I, in retrospect, now wish I had allowed a little more time for transition, and the Q&A is definitely very short, but you live and you learn. So
Good.
So why don't we kick things off just in the interest of time, continue to throw your questions in there. But I was actually just asking Daphne to kind of talk about her entrepreneurial spirit and launching the Vendry. And obviously you all know that it takes, a lot of confidence and guts and all of those things to launch a business. And I know some of our folks are thinking about going off on their own and starting new things. So how did you get that confidence to launch the Vendry?
Yeah, I think the simple answer to that is that for all of my 20s, I worked at a high growth tech startup. And when you're inside of that environment, you know that on the outside, it might look like easy, but it's not. And, you fail everything you do. I would say 90% of the initiatives we did failed, and we just required that one to work to get to the next step. And, we talked about this a little before going on, but I think something that I really built up over the last 10 years was a sense of resilience. And I'm tapping into that a lot now with what's going on. And I think that's something, it's, something we're all practicing, which is finding that resilience within us, and being an entrepreneur certainly requires that too.
Yeah, that's great. I think this audience in particular has to be extremely resilient. So we know that feeling well. Yeah, tapping into that is really important. So I'd love to kind of hear more about the Vendry, and if someone what's the first step someone needs to take in order to be a part of it? Do they just create a profile? Is that the first step?
Yeah, so every event professional in the industry can create a free profile on our site. And when you sign up, there's a couple different flows that you'll take depending on your current situation in the industry. So if you're a freelancer or you're currently looking for work, you'll see there's a checkbox that you can tick off as you create your account, and then you'll join. You also, if you're currently working at an agency or vendor or a venue, you'll take a slightly different path as you sign up, and you'll also be made an admin of that business profile. And so you can search for event professionals on our site, but we also have a marketplace for venues and vendors. So just like on Facebook and LinkedIn, where you have your personal profile and you'd be an admin of the business profile, it's the same thing on the Vendry.
Cool. Is there anything that they can be doing, or we, because I plan to join too, to make our profile stand out?
Yeah, so we collect a lot of data on the back end. So if you're CMP certified, if you want to add, you can, just like on LinkedIn, you can add up to 50 skills that you have, and it's just keywords. So you can say Zoom, you can say, budgeting, everything that you see that you can input will be searchable in the near future. You can say if you're part of, PCMA and all your affiliations. And of course, the way that we've built those profiles, the core of it is a visual portfolio of the previous events you've worked on. And so the pictures don't need to be stunning. They might have been taken by your iPhone, but it still sort of adds this feeling of proof about the caliber of event experience that you have.
That's great.
One comment on that is when you upload an event, you can say what industry the client was in, or what type of event, and everything will be searchable by that too. So people could look up event professionals that have auto industry experience, which is why in the future, we think will be a better recruiting platform than somewhere like LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's great. And you guys, I know on your presentation, you said you have a mobile app coming up, right?
Yeah, so we just last week, the mobile app's a couple months away, but last week we launched a news feed. And so knowing that, in a future state, we want to be a place that businesses are getting leads, that event pros are getting jobs. Until we have job postings on the site, we basically have two theses on what value we can add to you here and now. One, we curate the latest industry information and we push that out across a weekly newsletter. We have a news feed on our platform and we publish it on Instagram as well. So we hope to be sort of a one source where you can get the best of Biz Bash event marketer, news around the web. And then the second thing is access to networking opportunities. And so you'll see if you look at our community events, we let people from our community host community events. So Danielle, for example, you could host one for Boston Event Pros. And we're pretty generous. So if you are interested in hosting a networking event, you can just email us and we'll put it up there.
That's so awesome to offer that to our folks, or to everyone. I mean, that's just such a great opportunity to kind of, meet people and showcase your skills, and you're involved in another virtual event. So yeah, that is so awesome. So thank you. And I know you guys are kind of curating different news articles, and your attendees and your members can add news of their own to the site. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it goes through our editors just because we really want this to be a well-curated feed, but we say at the bottom of our weekly newsletter to just email us. If you have a case study or a blog post that you wrote that you think could add value to our community, we will publish it. Right now, I think one thing people are looking for most is actually case studies. Like, what are people doing that's innovative with virtual events? And so we're actually happy to promote those.
That's great. Well, if you guys don't have any other questions, I encourage you all to check out the Vendry. I'm going to go join. I know a couple of you in the chat have said you're already joining, so it's such a great opportunity. So I encourage you all to check it out and continue to watch what they're up to.
Yeah, and you can follow us on Instagram. We're at the Vendry. Also, please feel free to email me. I put my email out there and I really mean it. It's Daphne, my first name, at thevendry.co. We're not .com.co. And if you have feedback, if you have questions, like I might route you to somebody else on the team, but we're building this for you. We are a technology company. And so that's why we're the platform. You guys are the community. So send us your feedback.
Thank you. That's so nice and so awesome of you guys to be doing this for everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you again for being here. Really appreciate it. So nice to meet you and get to talk to you. And thank you for sharing your wisdom with our attendees.
Of course. Good luck. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.